Alright, seems like we got us an Apache driver in here. You know, we're not sure what rank it is for what it is, but like I said, this is going to need to be fast and hard. This is a hard ball right off the hop. As soon as this clicks for me, door opens. I'm playing it blindfolded, 0513, Bull Farm through Texas. This woman, interrogator, whether she's going to, because this guy's going to know the insides out, upsides and downs. Not necessarily unless this is a different barracks, a different system, but I'm sure it plays a lot of the same standard model that old Bull over here. You know, like I said, you can't just, well, even if you could toss it into the regular meat grinder with the chop, you know.
Yucky, but it's low back.
A couple of notes from in there. I just wanted to jump that through because, like I said, I run this system because I want all of them to know what that is. Because, well, I think it does happen at one point in time because it's all about clearing the leisure, right? So, time and debt on the system, what shit you shoveling from my position. Well, that's where the treasure is. The bigger the nastiest, gnarly monster is generally where you're going to find Salty over here.
I know you're an officer, and I know you've seen these 1,000 times and you've read them yourself. You
that is where you
still ask me any questions if you have one. Okay, don't be embarrassed of that, okay?
He may not know about what's up, but you couldn't not know. I smoked a bowl earlier today with this guy.
Tell me why you're embarrassed.
Fuck.
Nobody. Well, I mean, there's rumors flying. I know, and we tried to do that. As
they come off like that instead of hawking or fucking Salty, huh?
This is gonna make the rumors go away. Okay, for you. The rumor tomorrow is gonna be on somebody else. Does that make sense? So let's get them off of you and get them on
so
somebody else.
So it might be some mid-phase stuff, you know, pumping steroids, brother. Is that what they're bitching about? They may not. You know, this is some war force stuff inside here. Shot, fought for the country. But you know, you start ripping apart meth addicts.
You have the right to talk to a lawyer and have him or her present with you while
it's all sensitivity training, which I usually give the red light to these guys anyways, based off of the turn leisure on the cut coefficient for zero pullouts on the soft end for aggression on what that is. I kick the rookie right in his chest. And you know you can't stand next to me. We're gonna play this. We do that. Get shot for that reason. Yeah, it's, you know, hopefully we play with kindness, and it's a risky heart banger chasing that fucking wild animal around too.
I shoot right-handed and left-handed.
Talking to the pretty little one, like, damn it, don't get away, don't get away, come here.
Oh, I'm the opposite. I throw right-handed, but I bat left-handed. No, I'm kick left.
Oh, that would be a dangerous game, right? Oh.
No, left for me. Okay. Having these rights in mind, do you wish to talk to me at us?
Me? Again, I'm heading from the
Yes.
Okay. Pulling this out for early barracks for my barracks. That's how I want to set up my courtroom. Alright. You still got to get this guy back in the mill, you know, one way or another. If it wound up being some crew thing before I walk in, I'm intentionally not go blindfolded into this thing.
No promises or threats have been made to me, and no pressure or force of any kind has been used against me.
There's a formality. I mean, those are, he knows he has to on thumbprints here, the paw tracks, what has to go down, upside down or backwards, 33 and a third left over, or 666 in the devil. You can figure out where it is.
Because you're writing and holding your ticket book in this hand, and you're
turnover usually get a lot of gravity. When the rest of the graphics turn over for different vector positions, it starts slicing up that pie chart, and you found yourself 33 and a third load.
Well, I'm done.
You are?
Can't be this room, like I said. I smoked a joint earlier. I'm still in trouble here if I have to conduct this. Why, John? Why?
You haven't heard any rumors?
I'm still on the farm, like I said. Time and debt after this point, time on the tax.
Not unusual.
Got push. I'm gonna use it. You can't use it no more. Thinking privileges are removed from here because, like I said, the clear on the leisure is supposed to do any backlog about computer timelines as kids nowadays, where you grew up and live in timelines. Usually baseball, football, soccer pack, band practice keeps you loaded. All on the clock to the time. POV doesn't need to happen. It's just mostly vector positions, which still work great.
But you didn't call it in.
I didn't call it.
Where was that?
It was about Northeast 50th and Lincoln, just to the west.
Okay.
Pull over that wasn't
Tell me
called
about
in.
that stop.
I was going westbound on Northeast 50th, probably probably a block just east of Lincoln. I see a red Grand Prix or Grand Am in my right lane, in the outside lane. I'm in the inside lane. The car swerves, and so at the time I'm thinking, okay, it's probably a drunk person, or maybe got excited because he saw a cop. So I kind of fall behind it, kind of drifting just a little bit, not crossing lane lines, nothing crazy. So I lighted up because at first the traffic violation I saw at first when it swerved. That was just west of Northeast 50th in Lincoln. And then made contact. It was a black female. Asked for license insurance. Stated that she didn't have insurance. Gave me an ID. At the time, I'm like, do you have a valid insurance or a valid license? She said no. I told her. I just got
Why
off
wasn't
work.
called
I
in
mean,
from then?
What's the
Now
deal?
you gotta ask it. Why
are you
not
swerving?
bring up
She
the
says,
in protocol? I would imagine across
We're
the
just trying
board
to
that
go
would be.
home to
As soon as I
Ann Arbor-ish
got on her tail
Northwest side
lights.
to see your daughter or something like that. So I asked if anything on board. I saw
Well,
the
prison
vehicle.
guards,
It's okay if
like I
search your
said,
vehicle and
I
whatnot.
can
She
play
said,
this off through the
the only thing
system
that's
and be
inside
like,
there's a
well,
Kool-Aid cup.
Karen,
I'm like, is
you want me
there
to
anything inside that Kool-Aid?
just
Is
open
there
up the
liquor or anything
cage
inside that
on
Kool-Aid?
fucking Colossus
She
over
said,
here?
no. I'm like, okay, is there anything else inside there? She
Get
said,
him to
"There's
figure out which
pills."
ones are that inside
Like,
of
is that the
there.
only
Have
thing?
him pick him out of the gang members
So I
out of
was
the
like,
get,
"Can
you know.
permission search your
And
car?" She said yes.
well,
Inside
it's
the car,
mission
there's
if
no
anything
pills.
else. If you perspective being what it is right off the hop
I
for
didn't really-
Like
protocol
scatter
and the
pills or in a
She
bottle?
you
said
know,
it was hydrocodone
go grab
pills,
3
but I just
cat
put the
teens of
lens
water
look
and
at it.
meet
I
me
think I
out
saw
back
her name
with
on the
a
prescription
heat
bottles.
tool, right?
Oh, so it was a bottle.
Right.
Okay.
There were several bottles in her purse. And then so at that time I just returned back to her. Like, okay, I saw your pills, I didn't see any alcohol. I sniffed the drink, didn't smell any alcohol in the Kool-Aid. I'm like, okay, I'm just off work, I'm tired. Get your license taken care of. It's mine.
So she didn't have a driver's
She
license?
didn't have a driver's license, and I was just like, go to DPS, Department of Public Safety on King, get that taken care of.
Like I said, why aren't those things squared away with early training on the 42 wiring systems here? That's my first note to this being a problem. This byproduct of the system of poor training. 100%.
Do you make
100%.
traffic stops normally after work?
Mason
I
games.
don't, but in that case,
Well, like I said, I
So
brought it up
swerve
early
and
stuff
whatnot,
about,
so I-
well, you big dog, why aren't you going for chief in the community?
felt.
If that thing
know,
tripped
I
you
mean,
up and
I
you
know,
allowed to
I
do it,
I'll
not
say
on the
that,
systems for
but,
today's
you know,
protocols,
I have,
well, we're at 17.
Vision, whatever. But I
That
feel
seems
I
like
need
those
to
kinds of
pick a
mousetraps to
chance.
come up.
How was she? Was she respectful? Was she?
She
No,
felt like she was nervous and whatnot, and I'm like, why are you nervous? And she was even crying. I'm like, why are you crying? Why are you nervous?
0513 out here.
Whatnot?
They put me in a box and
And
tell me to
she's
watch
like,
the
I don't
Diamonds
know.
Forever movie.
Just nervous because you're a cop. I
007.
got pulled over. I'm like, nothing you had to be nervous about. And I told her, I'm like, I don't really want to take you to jail for no SDL or anything. I just got off work. I'm tired. So, with my
Still should have been called in, right? I mean, I don't understand why that isn't cleared with the sergeant for licenses across the board on timelines and costs.
I'm not gonna sit here.
You know, like I said, either I have too much right now and there's a physical limit at county. I don't care what anybody fucking says.
You think she was drunk?
I think she was.
You got a time to deal with
I
what you
think she
can kick
was-
in and put out because it kicked hard and a mule
drank,
looks
but I
like
don't
it's
think
square inside of there
with
according to this
my
fucking
experience, I don't
cowboy
think she
right
was
here.
past the legal limit.
Right. Right.
So
So, I mean,
that's what I asked her too. Is like,
Like I said, these are
with
better
the pain
for
medicines of hydrocodone
backup
and all that,
units
one
at the
has
barracks
injected
to
that
call in big
maximizes
hits for the
effects.
day,
So
and if
after
the
that, she
prison's
said no.
close to that, you know,
But
switch out.
when she was in the
That's
back
what
of
you
my
train
car, when I
rookies
was in
for.
the front car,
What wrenches are
the
for,
driver said, I
dumbass?
could smell it off of her, but I don't think she was still past the legal limit.
okay. Okay. So you got her out of the car.
Yes.
Okay.
You got that
and
loaded
put her
up
in the
all
back of
day,
your
didn't
car?
you?
Yes.
Just-
Okay. Any
Why not play it on the
problems
board?
No, she was.
Oh, there's a difference in the back room, isn't there?
there? Okay. And then you searched. Did you run her through Unit 800?
I did.
You didn't. So, did you run her on your MDT?
No, I didn't. All my stuff was.
Well, what the reality does turn into is,
all
alright, well, any of those things come up, check off all the nuclear reactor lists, because she's gonna know. Say it was weird, it was something, and you gotta be living here. And it's like, well, Bull Farm, is
And
the
where
Bull
did you
Farm.
pick her up? 50th
It's
and
not gonna
what?
matter to skill sets that don't make that differential anyways, because there's only so much room in the county.
Just to the east of Lincoln and 50th.
Okay. She pull over right away.
Well, if you look
she
at the
was in
prison
right
steps
lane, and I was
in
in
Mississippi,
lane, so I
where are we?
swerved. So she saw a
Oklahoma,
police car right there, so she kind of did whatever.
they make a lot of
slow
corn,
down,
potatoes.
kind of, okay, is he gonna pull me over or not? And then I lit her up about 50th and Lincoln, past the intersection to the west.
When you put her in your car, did you pat search her?
When I came around, I was like,
Wow,
looked at her
we
shirt,
gotta
is there
call
anything
that
on
in
you,
for sure,
anything
Pat,
as
sort of,
far as
you
your
know.
waistband or anything like that? She said no.
No license out the car, didn't want to go home to work.
Did your hands go on her at all?
I backhanded her on as far as the side.
Sharp's
Where on
not
the
happy
body? Tell
right
me you
now.
back-
Her waist, and the back portion. I didn't touch her butt or anything, but the back
Well-
portion of the waist. And then she lifted it up like right here. And there's nothing.
You know, buddy,
So she never
workplace
like,
romance
ooh, nothing
is,
exposed her breasts or anything like that.
you know.
She asked you,
If you want to search me, I'm like, no, it's okay.
so she never like put her hands on the car and
Well, you big boy, you got a big differential. Me, I pulled that once off in life and I made it work.
Where was she
I think they're
positioned or
coming at you
standing
for other
when you
reasons.
back-
Like I
when you
said,
did
certain
the back
things.
of
I
your
don't know.
car?
As soon as they hit the POV on this one, the trial cam for the car,
My patrol vehicle.
But did
because
you-
they're gonna
was she
give him one,
facing
because
you,
they're
or
gonna
was
want to
she-
see him
No,
wreck
she was
somebody.
facing away from me.
And you just kind of did it like
Yeah,
this.
back there, yes.
Okay. Did your hand go on
Put
butter?
it on.
No,
fight
that's what I'm
night,
saying.
man.
It was the hip, the side, not the butt section.
What about right here?
No,
You didn't.
no, I didn't.
They can tuck a gun right
That's
here.
why I asked to lift
This
it
is what
up.
really
Oh, so she
happened.
just kind of showed you her belly?
Right.
Okay. Then you talked to her for a little bit in the well, you after you searched her,
Yeah,
you put her in the
well,
back
that
of the
would
car.
be bad move squared, and he
Then-
knows it. And that's,
We used to always kind of
I mean,
keep the door
when you
open
do
and
think
talk
about
when they're not, like,
something in
at it
there,
or
they
anything.
they
But you talk to her
don't
and
get to work with
information,
me
and
every
like,
day.
back
They
in
don't
there.
Well, I
necessarily.
talked to her for a little bit.
That's
just
a
as
lot of
far as
risk.
what's
That's
inside
I mean, there is a
the vehicle,
bunch of
and I
risk
said,
right here on the
"Search
table about what it
vehicle.
is.
Is there anything in the
14 minutes
plate?"
in.
She said no. Just talking to her. What's the deal? Why are you driving late at 2:00 at night? You know, why did you swerve? So she's going to Ann Arbor. I went to the northwest side to visit her.
Yeah, I
daughter,
heard something from her.
So
Then you went up and searched her car.
Well, there was a yes and a no inside of that
How long,
answer.
you think?
Like I
I
said,
didn't
it's
put
got to stop
search
right
on
now.
it.
We got to talk about. I
I
mean,
looked under
if
the
it can
seat,
crack it from here, and it's just.
sniff the
I need a lawyer.
juice, whatever
Yep,
she's had,
that's the right
alcohol
answer
in it.
because it's the
Looked at her
only
purse,
answer
like she
right
said,
here.
there's pills in it,
Something
looked
on
real
the
quick,
thing,
see if her
pills.
name was there, and that was basically it.
Okay. Then
No pills
when
are
you
fine,
went
no
back
pills.
to her,
Mhm.
what happened?
When I went back to her, I was like, okay, I didn't smell any alcohol on your car and your juice thing. And I'm like, what's the deal? Are you really drunk or not? And she's like, no, I'm just trying to go back home. And at that time, I was like, okay.
Oh, could be infraction because he let go of
I'll
drunk
go ahead and
driver
follow
because
you.
she was a cutie, but
I
too
said,
fucked
I'm not
up.
gonna
She
take
might
you to jail.
crash later,
I'm
got in
tired.
trouble.
So I can take you to jail, go and follow
Could be
you.
a flirty bet
Let's go
because
back
it's
to the
definitely
44.
on
You head
the
west now,
peacock
44.
here, one of his
So
many
that's what we
colors.
did.
Did you follow her?
Stock market. Well, like I said, I got to get in there to figure out the circuitry where the 42 popped up exactly to be able to work out the Oilers number through Titleist over here to get you out of the fucking garden.
Well, she took 44 to go west.
So you were able to see her do that.
Velveteen Rabbit, man.
And then did you lose her when you got on
When I
Broadway?
went to northbound, on
Well,
Broadway,
one
she
way or
went
another.
44 west.
I'm sure this had something to do with infraction of policy.
Well,
For
she's-
sure. Even if it's
sounds
close
like
to
this
finding
is
out
the
about it,
blame-
call
I mean, this
on
is
the
deal
thing
where
to make the
she's
deal
the
on what that is.
complaining party.
Time here
Okay.
says, poof,
And
I don't know the
she's making
protocol,
some
hit
sexual
17, I'm going to
allegations,
check that up
obviously, 'cause
about,
sex crimes is working it.
poof, yeah.
She said.
Well, was there anything, an accidental touch, anything?
If she thought it, when I
No, so
passed
this
her,
is
but
definitely-
it was nothing as far as
You penetrated
I
her.
felt like I would do anything as far as sexual or anything like that. For my safety, I
You're a
just
big
checked
guy.
to see what
It's night. It's 2 o'clock in the morning
And I-
on a
you
thing.
like
This
I didn't
is
touch
why we
her
do
butt,
these
but
investigations.
the waist side and whatnot.
Sometimes
you
little
like me to
bunnies,
do
they get
for you,
skittery. I'll
show
be
you
honest
that.
about that.
No,
About
and I'm fine with it.
nowadays,
You have every right to do that.
this
She's
is something
saying that
you need to
made
take
her lift up
consideration.
her shirt, and
Now-
and when she lifted up her shirt, she exposed her breasts.
Between anything in an
I asked her,
investigation between A and B,
is there anything
in
inside your
person or
bra?
otherwise, that
And
come
she
up,
said no. So I was like, okay.
the timeline of the
She said,
incident
"You want
may
me to
not
show
have
you?"
been
And I said,
tonight.
I said, no.
I want to be clear, this probably
She
dropped
said
the
that-
date somewhere
she
right
said,
off
"Do
the
you want-"
hop
She said she was doing
on that
this. When
timeline,
you
which
said,
is
there anything inside
universal
your bra?"
speed
She's like, "No, I
limit
don't have
for
anything." Did she do that?
the.
Yeah, she did, but I didn't look or anything like that.
Right.
And then she was like,
Well,
"You want me to
this
show
comes
you?"
up really
No.
commonly
She
in the
said when she
courtroom.
said,
That's why
"Do
they
you want
sound
me to
so
show you?"
familiar.
You said, "Yeah," and she went.
And we do this in a very, very controlled
But could she have
martial law.
been
It's supposed to be. But on the other end of this can get in one of these speeding tickets about drunk driving.
I said no.
that
It's
she didn't
there.
go, yeah, you know, 'cause
I'm sure in
sometimes
one case or another.
drunk girls
Usually
are-
there's one about hypnotists and therapists that
and
usually
partying
cover
down,
that
and let's
difference.
face it,
I've already heard stories about officers
people
and
want
Pause.
whatnot.
that